Behind closed doors, how BinJin fix small fights. Imagine discovering that the most enduring romances aren't built on flawless perfection or sweeping cinematic gestures, but on the humble art of uttering those three little words, "I'm sorry," before pride has a chance to whisper otherwise. In the glittering world of Korean entertainment, where fairy tale endings often feel scripted, Ye-jin, the elegant star of timeless dramas, once let slip a secret during an old talk show that reshapes how we view marital bliss. "I always apologize first." It's a confession that lingers like a soft melody, revealing not weakness, but a profound strength, the kind that turns ordinary evenings into unbreakable bonds. Hearing her say it, you can't help but feel a warm pang of admiration. Here is a woman who commands screens with her poise, yet chooses humility as her superpower in the one relationship that matters most. This isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a quiet revolution in how love is lived, day by day, reminding us that true harmony blooms from the soil of sincere amends. Ye-jin's words, delivered with that signature blend of grace and candor, open a window into the intimate dance of her marriage to Hyun, the brooding heartthrob who captured global hearts alongside her in Crash Landing on You. Picture them. Two actors whose on-screen chemistry sparked one of the decade's most beloved romances, only to mirror it off-screen in a union that defies Hollywood's fleeting flings. They met amid the chaos of filming in 2019, portraying a North Korean officer and a South Korean heiress whose love bridged impossible divides. What began as professional sparks, late-night script reads turning into lingering glances, evolved into something real, confirmed publicly in early 2021 after years of whispered rumors. By March 2022, they exchanged vows in a private ceremony, surrounded by close family, opting for intimacy over extravagance, a choice that feels refreshingly grounded in an industry obsessed with spectacle. And then, in November of that same year, their world expanded with the arrival of their son, a tiny bundle who transformed their scripted lives into an uncharted adventure of midnight feedings and shared lullabies. Reflecting on this journey, one senses the depth of their partnership. It's not the absence of storms, but the way they navigate them together, with Ye-jin often extending the olive branch first. This act, she implies, isn't about keeping score, but about preserving the fragile beauty of connection. A sentiment that tugs at the soul, evoking that bittersweet recognition of how often we let ego eclipse empathy in our own lives. Delving deeper into this philosophy, Ye-jin's approach echoes a timeless truth about communication in marriage. The first apology isn't a surrender, but a bridge rebuilt before the chasm widens. In the rush of daily life, rehearsals bleeding into family dinners, paparazzi shadows lurking at every corner, their conversations must sometimes fray, like threads pulled too taut. Yet, by stepping forward with remorse, Ye-jin models a vulnerability that invites reciprocity, fostering a space where misunderstandings dissolve rather than fester. It's profoundly moving to consider. In a culture where stoicism is often prized, especially among high achievers like these two, admitting fault first feels like an act of radical love. Hyun, ever the steady presence, has spoken in interviews about the ease of their rapport, born from shared industry scars. They understand the unspoken exhaustion of a 14-hour shoot without needing exhaustive explanations. We can predict each other's rhythms, he's shared. A harmony that extends to their home life, where walks in the park with their toddler become sacred rituals of reconnection. This mutual attunement, laced with Ye-jin's proactive apologies, paints a portrait of marriage as a living dialogue, not a monologue of grievances. One can't help but feel inspired, a gentle ache for the simplicity we all crave, a partner who chooses us over me in the heat of the moment. Expanding this lesson beyond their soul penthouse, consider how such gestures ripple into the broader tapestry of relational wisdom. Experts in the field of couples therapy often highlight that timely apologies act as emotional reset buttons, diffusing tension and reigniting intimacy. When one partner leads with, "I'm sorry," it signals safety, encouraging the other to lower defenses and engage in honest exchange rather than defensive retorts. This dynamic is particularly potent in long-term commitments, where accumulated resentments can erode the foundation, like slow-dripping water on stone. For Ye-jin and Hyun, whose careers demand emotional armor, portraying heartbreak one day, triumph the next, this practice likely serves as an anchor, grounding their public personas in private authenticity. Imagine the relief after a spat over scheduling conflicts. Ye-jin, perhaps sensing the weight of unspoken frustrations, breaks the ice with a heartfelt acknowledgement, her voice soft but resolute. Hyun, in turn, meets her halfway, their reconciliation unfolding like a scene from one of their films, but infinitely more tender because it's unrehearsed. This exchange doesn't just mend, it deepens, layering their bond with layers of forgiveness that time alone can't etch. Personally, it stirs a quiet envy, not for their fame, but for that effortless rhythm of repair, a reminder that love's endurance lies in these micro moments of grace. To truly appreciate the nuance, let's weave in the fabric of their shared history, which adds rich context to Ye-jin's revelation. Long before wedding bells, their paths crossed in subtle ways. A mutual friend's introduction here, a collaborative ad campaign there, each encounter planting seeds of curiosity. Crash Landing on You was the catalyst, a project that demanded vulnerability on set. Ri Jung-hyuk's stoic declarations mirroring Hyunbin's real-life reserve, while Seti's fierce independence echoed Ye-jin's own. Fans swooned over their banter, but insiders knew the chemistry was no act. Post-filming texts evolved into deeper dialogues, confessions of admiration spilling over professional lines. By the time they announced their engagement, the world exhaled in collective joy, toasting to a couple who proved love stories can leap from fiction to forever. Parenthood amplified this, with Hyunbin describing fatherhood as a beautiful chaos, crediting Ye-jin for her intuitive parenting, her apologies extending now to playful negotiations over bedtime stories or playtime squabbles. In one rare glimpse, he recounted a family outing where a minor mishap led to laughter, not lingering ire, underscoring how their apology ritual keeps joy afloat amid the mundane. It's heartening, this glimpse into their world. It humanizes icons, showing that even stars grapple with the same relational tightropes we all walk, and emerge stronger by choosing humility over hubris. Yet, what elevates Ye-jin's confession to a beacon is its universality. It transcends celebrity, speaking to anyone who's ever let a sunset argument steal sleep. In marriages everywhere, the who apologizes first dilemma often masquerades as a power play. But reframed as Ye-jin does, it becomes an act of devotion. Psychological insights affirm this. Studies on relational repair show that couples who prioritize amends report higher satisfaction, their conflicts resolving faster and more fully. Apologizing first disarms the cycle of blame, shifting focus from fault to feelings, and in doing so, reaffirms commitment. For creative souls like Ye-jin and Hyun, whose professions thrive on emotional depth, this translates to a richer inner life, fewer barriers to authenticity, more space for the raw, unfiltered joy of being known. Envision a quiet evening in their home, the city lights twinkling beyond floor-to-ceiling windows, their son tucked in, and a half-forgotten disagreement bubbling up over dinner. Ye-jin pauses, her eyes meeting his, and whispers those words, not as defeat, but as an invitation to heal. The air lightens, conversation flows anew, and in that pivot, they reclaim not just peace, but passion. Such scenes evoke a profound tenderness, a nod to the soul's quiet yearning for partnerships where grace is the default, not the exception. Of course, no marriage is a monologue of perfection, and theirs is no exception, flavored by the unique pressures of fame. Public scrutiny, from dispatch exclusives to endless speculation about second pregnancies, tests even the sturdiest unions. Yet, Ye-jin's strategy of leading with apology likely serves as a private shield, diffusing internal stresses before they amplify under the spotlight. Hyun has echoed this in reflections, noting how their industry-honed empathy allows preemptive understanding. We know the toll of a long day without words. This foresight, paired with her initiative, crafts a resilient love, one that withstands tabloid tempests and toddler tantrums alike. It's inspiring to ponder. In our own lives, how might embracing this first-to-forgive ethos transform petty quarrels into pivotal growth? A forgotten anniversary, a snapped retort in fatigue. These are the cracks where resentment roots, but a swift "I'm sorry" uproots them, planting instead seeds of empathy. Ye-jin's example whispers that vulnerability isn't risk, but reward, fostering a love that feels expansive, alive with possibility. One feels a surge of optimism here, as if her words unlock a universal key. The simpler we make amends, the grander our stories become. Labeling in broader relational lore, this ties seamlessly to age-old adages reimagined for modern hearts. Think of it as the relational equivalent of olive branches in ancient lore, extended not in grand ceremony, but in whispered sincerity. Couples therapists advocate for apology scripts that go beyond surface sorries, delving into impact. "I'm sorry for raising my voice. I see how it made you feel dismissed." Ye-jin, with her actress's intuition, likely embodies this intuitively, her delivery laced with genuine remorse that disarms and draws closer. In their case, this practice dovetails with cultural nuances. Korean values of harmony, hungyo, prize collective peace over individual vindication, making her approach a cultural cornerstone polished by personal choice. Hyun, raised in a similar ethos, complements this with his thoughtful pauses, perhaps a gentle hand on hers, affirming her lead without overshadowing it. Their synergy feels poetic, a duet where one voice initiates, the other harmonizes, creating symphonies from solitude. Emotionally, it resonates deeply. We've all known the sting of unspoken hurts, the relief of rupture mended. And Ye-jin's candor reminds us that the path to profound connection often starts with a single, courageous step backward. As their story unfolds into its fourth year, glimpses of this dynamic peek through curated posts and rare interviews, painting a mosaic of quiet triumphs. A recent anniversary nod from Ye-jin, elegant photos from their 2022 wedding, captioned with gratitude, hints at the enduring spark, fueled by these unseen acts of grace. Parenthood has added new verses, navigating sleep regressions or first words, where apologies might now include, "Sorry for snapping, little one," modeling repair for their growing boy. Hyunbin's tales of playground escapades reveal a father softened by fatherhood, his wife's influence evident in his patient play. This evolution stirs a reflective warmth. Marriage as they live it isn't stasis but metamorphosis. Apologies the catalysts accelerating growth. For fans and fellow travelers alike, it's a masterclass in sustained affection, proof that love's longevity hinges less on fireworks than on the steady flicker of forgiveness. In quieter moments, one imagines them curled on the couch, post-argument, her head on his shoulder, murmuring amends that melt into mirth. Such intimacy, born of bold vulnerability, elevates the everyday to eternal, leaving us all a little more hopeful for our own horizons. To stretch this canvas further, let's explore how Ye-jin's wisdom intersects with global narratives of nuptial navigation. Across oceans, from New York therapy rooms to Tokyo tea houses, the principle holds. The partner who apologizes first often shepherds the ship through relational reefs. Anecdotes abound of couples crediting this habit for weathering career upheavals or family fusions, much like Ye-jin and Hyun, whose dual stardom could fracture lesser ties, but instead forges them firmer. Her confession invites us to audit our own apologies. Are they prompt or procrastinated? Sincere or strategic? In their world, where schedules clash like converging storms, timeliness is treasure. A delayed sorry risks escalation, while an immediate one averts the avalanche. This acuity, honed by her roles in tales of redemption, think April Snow's aching atonement, bleeds into reality, making her marriage a meta-performance of grace. It's captivating, this bleed. Art imitating life, life elevating art. And it prompts a personal reckoning. How many bridges have we burned for want of words? Ye-jin's path offers a lantern, illuminating that the cost of pride pales against the riches of repair. Moreover, this ethos extends to the micro-rituals that sustain them. Shared meals where candor flows freer than soju, or weekend getaways to Jeju's whispering waves, apologies airing like laundry in the breeze. Hyunbin's reflections on their natural progression underscore this. No forced confessions, just organic openings where faults are owned freely. Their son, now toddling into mischief, inherits this legacy. Early lessons in sorry for spilled toys foreshadow a lifetime of empathetic edges. Society watches, envious yet edified, as they embody a blueprint for bliss. Communicate ceaselessly, concede gracefully, cherish consistently. The emotional undercurrent here is electric, a thrill at witnessing love demystified, stripped to its empathetic core. No longer lofty legend but learnable lore, Ye-jin's always first mantra becomes a mantra for masses, whispering that happiness hides in humility's embrace. In weaving these threads, one uncovers layers of longing fulfilled. The desire for a love that bends without breaking, yields without yielding ground. For Ye-jin and Hyunbin, it's manifest in milestones, their sons' first steps echoing their own toward each other. Apologies paving the path. As seasons shift, so does their story. From courtship's coy glances to co-parenting's candid clashes, always anchored by her pioneering pardons. This continuity comforts, a counterpoint to transient trends. In an era of swipe-right severances, their steadfastness shines. Personally, it evokes a soft swell of aspiration, urging us to emulate. Next argument, be the bridge builder, the balm bringer. Love, after all, isn't conquered, but cultivated. Apology by apology, until the garden of we outgrows weeds of I. Ultimately, Ye-jin's talk show whisper endures as an emblem of enduring unions, a call to arms for hearts armored too thickly. In their shared silences and spoken sorries, she and Hyunbin illustrate that marriage's magic lies in the mundane mended, the fractures filled with forgiveness. It's a narrative that nestles into the soul, promising that even in our imperfect plots, a timely I'm sorry can script sequels sweeter than dreams. And so, as their legend lengthens, we listen, learn, and love a little braver, inspired by stars who choose the light of letting go.